Hi, I'm Saida Garrett, co-writer of Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror, and you're listening to Rainbow Country with Mr. Mark Tara.
Today, my Big Brother Canada Season 10 coverage continues with the most recent Evicted House guest. So stay tuned for Gay Talk Radio right here on Rainbow Country.
Hi, this is Carol Pope.
Hi, I'm Garrett Conley, author of Boy Erased, a memoir.
Hi, I'm Lorraine Segato.
Hi, I'm Gord Depp with the Spoons. You're listening to Rainbow Country with Mark Tara.
Well, hello and welcome to yet another journey through Rainbow Country. As I like to call it, a little gay radio show working to give voice to the LGBT community and beyond. And as always, I am your tour guide through Rainbow Country. I'm producer and host, Mark Tara. By the way, Rainbow Country originates from CIUT FM in Toronto and now proudly in syndication on 12 outlets across Canada. So, from the Yukon to British Columbia to the prairies in Saskatchewan and Manitoba, the east coast of Canada in Newfoundland, Ontario, even down to Buffalo, New York, and online. Thanks to you tuning in, streaming, downloading, but ultimately listening. Together, we continue to build Rainbow Country into a nationally syndicated gay radio show, a #1 LGBT podcast on Podomatic.com's gay and lesbian chart, and being recognized as Canada's #2 LGBT podcast on Feedspot.com. So today, without any further ado, here is the most recent Evicted House guest from Big Brother Canada Season 10.
Guests, I have the results. By a vote of 10-2. Jay, I'm sorry, you've been evicted from the Big Brother Canada house.
Thank you.
Please get your things and say your goodbyes.
Bye. I don't know if I want to hug everybody individually, but I will.
Jay, first of all, a big congrats on making it onto Season 10, Big Brother Canada. How are you doing?
You know what? I'm doing lovely. I wish it didn't end so early, but I'm very happy for the experience.
So Jay, you are the second Evicted House guest from Big Brother Canada. Do you think playing this game was harder than you thought it would be?
Oh, absolutely. I kind of forgot. Like, it's like you come into a house with like so many amazing people that you just want to get to know, and you almost forget that it is a full, total game. It's a gong show in there, and you have to make sure that you are always on your toes, and it is a very like surreal experience to be in that house and navigating the systems in which Big Brother is.
So how would you categorize yourself, Jay? Would you say that you are a casual fan? You are a fan of the show? You know most of what happens, or are you a super fan?
I'm a fan of the show. I've been watching this show for a really long time. I am a huge like competition-based reality TV show enthusiast. So I love all of those shows. I have watched almost every season, I think, of Big Brother, Canada and the US. And I think, you know what? I just love the show. I love the social experiment.
So you knew what you were getting into. Did you have a strategy going into the game?
I was going to treat everybody like my cat. I was just going to give them head scratches and see if that worked. I didn't really have like a super big. I knew for a fact that like when I work as a theater director and working with different actors and that type of thing, is that every person in the show or every person that I'm working with is going to be different, and I'm going to have to use different tactics to be able to get the best out of them as possible. And I knew that that's the exact same thing that was going to happen in the house, is that I needed to see the people as individuals. And I know the game is a big part of that, but it is for sure the people. And the second you meet them, your strategy almost goes out the window, because you just have to, because you never know who's going to be in the house.
So Jay, you make it into the Big Brother Canada 10 house. First night, the phone rings. You answer the phone.
Yeah.
In that, and you get safety because of answering that phone. In that first week, when you had safety, did you use that first week to build connections amongst your fellow house guests?
I did. I made so many great connections and had so many great conversations with people. I think where I went wrong in that was I wasn't making connections on a game level as much as I should have, maybe, and more of a personal level. Because I just love talking to people. I think people are just so great and so amazing. But I should have been like, yeah, and then what can you give to me? I just did. I didn't do that part very well.
So looking back now, why don't you think you played the game during that first week when you did have safety?
Yeah, I kept saying to people that I wasn't ready to make a decision yet on who I wanted to work with. And that for sure bit me in the butt. I just didn't want to have to. The thing is I know that it's a game of backstabbing and manipulation and stuff like that. But I thought maybe if I could connect with a couple of people that were like-minded as me, then we could work together and I wouldn't have to backstab them until the end. And I didn't want to just go into every alliance possible just for the sake of doing it and then backstabbing people in the end. Because I think my word is very important and I wouldn't want to break that. I try to lead with joy and that everybody has my best interests at heart. And that doesn't work as well in the Big Brother house as it does in real life.
So I'm interested to know, Jay, in regards to your gameplay, what do you think was the biggest move that you made?
I think my biggest game move that I was in the midst of making while I was there is creating a little bit of a Misfits alliance. So with Betty, Helena, I really wanted Melina to stay. That was one of my big ones. I think if I would have won POV, I think everything that I said to any person about who I wanted to send home or who I was targeting was really a strong and aggressive gameplay that would have worked if I would have just won that POV. But I'm really proud of the game that I played, and I think that I played it as strong as I could.
Mm. So Jay, you are a big personality. Did coming on to Big Brother Canada, was there a bigger message that you wanted to get across when it comes to who you are and what you represent?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I grew up and I became a theater artist, and I never really saw people that looked like me on stage. And I think the very first time was one of my really good friends now in university was maybe the first Black person I ever saw on stage, or the first one that I remember. And I was like, why is this taking 18 years for me to remember or recognize a Black person on stage or a person of color? And I really wanted to be in people. I don't remember being in my living room growing up and seeing somebody that looked like me and being able to see myself in them. And I really hope that through this process and through this experience on the show, that somebody saw themselves in me and were able to hopefully one day maybe be on Big Brother or decide to take a risk in their life. And that's what I hope that people got out of this experience for sure.
Looking back, is there anything that you think you would do differently when it comes to gameplay?
Yeah, absolutely. I for sure would have made a little bit more of alliances throughout the beginning of the game. I should have maybe connected with people on a game level in a way that I didn't do right off the bat. That is probably my biggest regret, but I don't have a lot of regrets from the game. I think I played the game the best I could, and it's just one of those things that I say, Big Brother is two things. It is strategy that gets thrown out the window and luck. There's like some things of like, if somebody else would have picked the door for HOH in the first week, other than Herman, this would have been a very, very different season. So it's just, I think the cards lined up the way they did, and I'm very I don't know if I would change anything except that freaking wood, that piece of cake that fell down. I was not stoked about that. I wish I could have changed that.
So my last question for you, Jay, what was the best part about being part of Big Brother Canada Season 10?
Season 10! It was so much fun. I think the best part was the people I got to meet. Hanging out with Josh and Jess was like some of the greatest experiences I've had. Same with JC Lynn and Steph. We had so much fun in that house. And I'm just so happy that we got to create a community. Smudging with my house guests was a moment I'll never forget.
Well said, well said. I have to say, well said, well done, well played. Jay, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks. Hopefully I'll talk to you soon when I do an All-Star season.
Big Brother Canada airs on Global TV Mondays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Check your local listings for air times. To keep up to date with all things Rainbow Country, follow me on socials at Mark Tara. The podcast is available on all major platforms, including audible.com and iHeartRadio. And finally, I want to take this time to thank you for taking your time to be with me. Remember, we live in days of making dreams come true. So believe in yourself, and the world will believe in you.
Hi, everyone. This is Mark Tewksbury, Olympic champion, leader, humanitarian. You're listening to Rainbow Country with Mark Tara.